All right, so let's look at number bases. This time we are going to look at number bases. So for this one, we are looking at converting from other base to base 10. That is decimal numeral base 10. Okay, so we are going to, you can be asked to convert from base 2 to base 10, from base 5 to base 10. So all that we are saying is from other base to what? Base 10. Now note that whenever every number standing alone is already in base 10. So for instance, if I write this 1, 2, 3, if you don't see any base, then it means that this is in base what? 10. Yes, that's what we are saying. So we are going to convert from other base to this particular base, that is the base 10. Okay, so any number base 10 gives the same number. So if I give you this one to convert, it will give you what? The same number. Okay, you will still have it as 1, 2, 3. Yes, so take note of that. All right, good. Now note also that in base 10, the numerals for base 10 are 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, up to what? 9. Yes, 9. So for numerals for base 10 or decimal numerals start from 0 and end at what? 9. So take note of this. Any number other than these numbers cannot be said to be in base 10. Okay, so if I write 11 like this, then it is not in base 10. In that case, most of the time we use a letter, let's say E, to represent what? 11. Then it's not supposed to be in base 10. All that we are saying is that the moment we give you the base, know that the numbers given should be less than that given base. So you realize that you have 1, 2, 3 base 10. You see that all these numbers are less than 10. Good. So we are going to look at how we can convert from other base. We will not waste time. Let's take one example and see how we can convert. Okay, all right. Okay, so we are asked to change 1, 3 to base 5 to a number in base 10. Now note that if you don't want to use the word base 10, we may use a decimal numeral. So the moment you see decimal numeral, know that we are talking about what? Base 10. Okay, all right. So how do we change from? So you see that in this case, the base is giving us what? 5, and we are going to change from base 5 to base 10. Okay, yes, there are times that you can also be asked to change from base 10 to base 5, or from base 10 to other base. All right, good. So for this one, what is given to you like this, it's very simple. All that you do is you multiply each of the terms. So I will start with what? 1, and multiply by what? The base, which is what? 5. Okay, great. Plus, then minus is 3, multiplying by the same base, which is 5, plus minus is 2, multiplying the same what? So 5. Good. Now when you are dealing with a place value, okay, remember what you did in the basic school, that's in GHS. You learned that in place value, if I give you let's say you have for instance the 1, let's say you have this 1, 2, 3. If I ask you to tell me the place of 3, you see what? The place of 3 is what? Ones. And ones, what do we use? We use what? 0. If I ask you to tell me the place of 2, you will see it is what? Tens. So if this is 0, then if tens, then I'll move to 1. Then this will be what? Hundreds. Then I'll move to 2. Have you gotten that? So that if I ask you to give me this amount. You see 210. Okay, so this is ones, tens, hundreds. Okay, so we are going to follow the same procedure. So we start from 0, so which is the ones. Okay, then my tens will be 1, my hundreds will be what? 2. So it means that these place values you see here are treated as exponents. Okay, exponent. So it means that 5 exponent 0, and then 5 exponent 1, 5 exponent 2. So we are going to multiply that. So we'll maintain 1 and find what is 5 exponent 2. That is what? 25. Okay, plus my 3. What is 5 exponent 1? That is 5, plus 2 times. What is 5 exponent 0? Now remember, in our previous lesson I stated clearly that any non-zero number exponent what 0 is what 1. So take note of that. Okay, then we can multiply this by that, gives me 25. This by that gives me 15, plus this by that gives me what? 2. Then you add all of them. Okay, so if you add, what are you going to get? You are going to get 4, 2, 4, 2, and we are asked to change from base 5 to base 10. So you can add your base 10. You can even ignore the base 10. Okay, because I've already told you that any number without any base is already in base 10. So this is in base 10. Okay, so when we ask you to change from base 10 or from other base to base 10, that is how you go about it. Now let's take another example and see how it also works. Now in the second example, we are to convert 341.25 base 6 to a decimal numeral. So let's look at the first example. There wasn't any decimal here, but this time we have what? This decimal here. Okay, and we are also changing to a decimal numeral. And I said that when you are asked to change to a decimal numeral, it means you are changing to what? Base 10. So we are going to change this to base 10. All right, great. So how do we go about it, especially when we have the decimal here? So what you do is, as we did previously, just you are going to multiply each of them, okay, by the base. So I will start with 3 times 6 plus 4 times 6 plus 1 times 6 plus, don't worry about the point, you will continue, plus 2 times 6 plus 5 times 6. Good. Now what you do is, you know that for the place value, when you get here, you are starting from what? 0. So the one after the point, you start what? So this is the 1. So you start placing the exponent 0 here, and then it is going like this, 1 here, and then 2 here. Good. Now after this, you see that there's a point here. So I started writing the 0 on the where the point is and moved to the left direction. What about the right direction? So this time when you have you know that if I'm going this way, then as I'm moving to the left side, the exponent will be increasing. But as I'm moving to the left side, the exponent will be what? Decreasing by 1. You see that each of the exponent to the left side is increasing by what? 1. But as you are moving, so you realize that from 2, if I go to my left side, it will be reduced by what? 1. It will be decreased. If I moved here, it will be decreased by 1. If that's the case, if I continue moving because of the decimal point, okay, then if I move to the right, this one will also be decreased by 1. So it means it will be 0 minus 1. You realize that this is 2 minus 1 gives me 1. 1 minus 1 gives me 0. 0 minus 1 gives me what? Negative 1. What about negative 1 minus 1 gives me negative 2. So it will be moving like that. Okay, so take note of this. The moment you realize that there's a decimal point here, start from where the decimal point is. Start from your 0 and move to the left side in an increasing number of what? 1. And then you move to the right side in a decreasing number of what? 1. Have you gotten that? Yes, that is how it is done. Then once you are done, you can continue and proceed. So we can have 3 times, what is 6 exponent? 2 gives me what? 36, plus what is 6? What is 6 exponent 1 is what? 6, plus what is 6 exponent 0 is what? 1. Okay, plus then 2 times what? What is 6 exponent 1? I know that I can still write it as 1 divided by 6. Okay, plus then here too I have 5 times, what is 6 exponent what? 2, which will give me 1 on what? 36. Great. So that is how it is done. Now let's multiply them and see. What is 3 times 36? 3 times 36 gives me what? 108, plus what is 4 times 6? 24, plus 1 times 1 gives me 1. What is 2 times this? Okay, so 2 times 1 on 6 gives me what? Plus 0.33. And what is 5 times 1 on 36? It's also going to give me 0.14. Great. Now once we have this, then we can add all of them and get our answer. Okay, so what will be our answer? So we have 133.47. B is what? 10. Yes, so this is the answer we get when you are asked to do this. So when you are giving such example, you should know that that is how we can go about it. So this is very basic, and it's not difficult. So we will end here and continue in our next video. Now in our next video, we are going to look at how we can also convert or change from base 10 to other base. This time we change from other base to base what? 10. Okay, so in the next video we are going to change from base 10 to the other base. All right, so let's see what we can do in our next video. All right, okay, bye bye.